This is a trade recap for Monday, April 20th, 2026. A little bit different today. As per the study, we'll be day trading using a paper account this week to get some baseline data. So I'm going to treat this more or less the same in terms of the recaps. Everything's otherwise the exact same as it has been. Still doing one and done, that flavor, same rules with all that. This is just with paper, so we're going to kind of not count these as accumulation towards one and done in my mind, just because, again, I'd rather use a live account to kind of stay with that one. But again, going over everything, so little break on that one. So for this, try to think of like what I can go over. Again, this is a study, just to, again, neurological study for day traders. Just to, again, kind of see what information is gleaned from that and what we can do with it. This is a study being put on by Pat. It's his idea. He came up with it, I believe, and kind of got everything organized and put together, and working with a highly rated neuroscientist from an actual university to do an actual study that'll be published. With that, it's one of those things where there's a lot of procedure and like checklists and stuff like that, again, to make sure we're getting good data from all the participants, myself included. So again, if some of these things seem a little different than some of done in the past, or I'm a little vague on it, because again, I'm not going to go into the huge depth of the study, obviously, because I want to respect Pat. It's methodologies there and what he's getting from that and what he wants to do with it. But that is what's going on. So that's why things are going to look just a little different this week. Like I said, next week, I would imagine they're going to go back to more or less looking completely normal, at least from the audience's perspective. So yeah, but these are the kind of things that you can expect from someone who's really into this and really wants to help new and struggling day traders. I mean, he goes out of his way to come up with these out of the box approaches to figuring things out, not necessarily even for himself, it's for others. So again, there's a lot of selflessness in that. So if you are interested in learning how to day trade or improve with your day trading from someone that does care to that degree, check him out. It's Pat Mitchell over at Trick Trades. You can find the website at tricktrades.com. He's been in the markets for over a decade, and he proves day in, day out he knows exactly what he's doing with everything he does, from the strategy, the trade plans, and then doing these extra things to really help people get to where they want to be with their trading. If you would like a sampling of his information, you can go ahead and jump over to his YouTube page. Like I said, he's been at this for over a decade, and he has over 1,700 videos there now. So it's a entire library of information. It'll be extremely difficult for you to crawl through every one of those videos and pull out all the pieces of information and then put it all together. So my recommendation would probably just learn directly from him every day, because it'll be the most efficient route to go. If you're interested in joining the service, check the description below. There's a discount code or link down there that'll save you some money in your first month, so you can give it a shot, see what it's like, and if you decide to stick around, all good. If not, again, all good. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the recap. All right, so once we're done trading, one of the things that, again, is part of these steps is to basically close out the broker completely. So that's why you don't see it up there. Actually, no, this is before the market opens. This is the recording. For some reason, on the paper side, the settings, my settings were all jacked up, and I was scrambling to try and sort that out this morning. I'm not sure what happened there, because I had already set things up once. So, okay. So I don't know if there's a bug with Trader Workstation or what, but just something I had to deal with. So I'll go ahead and hit, well, before I get into the actual recording, just a quick lay of the land. We only trade SPY and Qs. So SPY is on the top here, Qs is on the bottom. These charts on the left are the daily charts. Charts in the middle are the 1 minute intraday charts. And then I normally have the order execution here on the right. I'll actually get that. I'll pull that up so you can see it here after the recording. These blue levels here are the levels that Pat picks for us for our trade plans. And he starts the night before and then refines them the morning of a trade session. Once he places these levels and builds the plan, they do not move for any reason whatsoever. If you are moving your levels after you've established them, especially during the trading session, you don't really have a trade plan. You'll see these red dash lines. These are the risk lines that, again, I put my risk levels. Some people don't need that visual cue. I personally like it, so that's why it's there. These lighter blue lines here is actually where we decided, again, Pat had kind of mapped out where he was going to be starting in, and then in between evaluating risk and where that starting position is. Again, you have to decide whether or not that's appropriate for you and where you are with your trading. So, yeah, that's more or less how that's all laid out. Mainly we're watching SPY a little bit closer than Q's, but ultimately Q's is the one that triggered first. So go ahead and hit play. So there's the open. There's the first initial entry on Q's. SPY still has room to come up. Let's save the ad for the level itself. Trying to wheel back there on the daily to see if there's anything floating over there. Kind of maximize it. I was a little off base with my the way my layout was because of just where things were. And a little bug this morning. Hopefully it sticks and I don't have to do that again. It's coming up into the level now. I'm going to go ahead and add the one critique I would put there instead of just adding the one. Should have added 2. But again, 2 is kind of that full size starter ish. Immediately greater rejection of that level starts coming down. Kind of get into that pre-market range. So again, it's one of those things, just kind of see what's in there. Going to pay on that reaction as you should. So I got one off and then took the second one off because it looked like it might hold there because SPY is also now down into that kind of range. Ultimately, though, it's like it again played out quite nice for that little pop down. Like that's all you really needed. So not much to go into detail there. Again, playing one and done, simple, straightforward. Again, playing by the rules as we should be, even if it was a live account. But yeah, that's one of those things where that's how you should do it. Here's the order management that how I have it set up normally. I had to open it back up because we had some swings left on. So that's, again, something I just needed to manage. But getting into the trades themselves, I'll pull up the entries. So as you can see, on that first candle, started into the entry and then again into the level. So I got one there, one there. That one should have been actually, again, where I said I should have done 2. Again, little tweak. It is Monday, so again, I should have done 2. It's like there's no, again, can't really create an excuse for that. Paid 1 on the first reaction, paid 1 when it looked like it was holding, and SPY was coming into its pre-market resistance there. So yeah, was there more, again, room there? Yeah, sure. If I had more size, would I kept 1 on and then probably sold it up here? More than likely, yes. As you can see, though, came down, kind of held, came back up into our start, but didn't break over the high. So again, that would have been a good place to, again, either add again to see if you get follow through. If you're, again, at that stage of trading in that style, that would be considered one trade. Could kind of get extended out here. Yeah, I don't know if that really one trade. Kind of depends on how you look at it. I would probably still consider that one trade, but at that point in time, getting into closer to 10, Not sure I'd really want to be, again, adding there. I'd want to be real careful. I would say that's actually more of a gamble than anything. So again, that one's valid. That one's more of a gamble. But as you see, the second one also kind of did the same thing. So nice reaction there. But other than that, pretty straightforward. Interesting in terms of, like, again, the study and what's going on there and the information we're tracking and things we're taking note of and journaling about. So interesting to see how that goes. The study runs for 90 days. But just this week is paper trading. So we're doing 5 paper trading sessions for the baseline data, and then going right back to kind of where things were, plus whatever, all the information from the study, and again, the process, procedure, and everything behind that. So all in all, a good morning. Hopefully everyone else had a good morning as well. Fairly straightforward. Got a nice quick reaction at the open there. Got, again, nice solid trade. P&L on that one was $68 for the 2 contracts. So again, premium moved pretty nice on that. So yeah, trying to think of any issues other than a little bit of technical issues with on the paper side, because I'm not sure what happened there. Notice that there's some difference in between Trader Workstation live versus paper. Like, some of the windows aren't the same. So again, just one of those things where I might pop that open this afternoon and try and play around with it to really make sure that it's actually working appropriately and set up the way kind of more reminiscent to the live. That way it's not different. Other than that, I'm trying to think. Wasn't really anything else. Happy Monday. Hopefully everyone else had a good one. Yeah, and that's all I have for this one. Pretty straightforward. So we'll catch you tomorrow for the next one. Later.